Hello, today's lesson I will try to illustrate some details about the rising of realism, also about the Civil War and post-war period in 1850 to 1900. So, what is the realism? Realism is a style of writing developed in the 19th century that attempts to depict life accurately without idealizing or romanticizing it. So this is general idea about realism. Also here the rise of realism. Here some questions, but let me just make some difference between the romanticism and realism. Romanticism here emphasizes imagination and emotions, but realism emphasizes accuracy and objectivity. Here in romanticism depicts larger than life heroes, but in realism depicts common everyday heroes. In romanticism view the world idealistically, but here in realism view the world scientifically. And romanticism focuses on the exotic, the supernatural and imaginary world, but here in realism focuses on real situations. So this important point about realism and romanticism. So what led to the rise of realism? First of all, the Civil War. Second, advances in technology. And third one, advances in the science and education. And four, social change, especially for newly freed slaves and women. So here also the Civil War in 1861 to 1865, it was the largest contributor to the development of realism. Why would war cause people to abandon imagination and idealistic lines of thoughts? Here a question. If you know this question, please make a comment and answer it. I will not try to answer this question because it's like test for you. Anyway, second, the 4-year conflict destroyed cities and industries as well as divided many families. It left bitter memories and economic destruction, especially in the south. Killed over 600,000 men. All these details took place in the Civil War. Changes in technology. Technological advancements also contributed to the rise of realism, especially photography, telephones, railways, etc. Here, photography. Photography allowed people to use or to see real, sometimes dismaying or shocking image of war and poverty. Matthew Brady became one of the most famous and celebrated photographers of the time. He took numerous photography of what was happening on the battlefield during the Civil War and sent them to newspaper to be published. He is credited with the creating photo journals or the art of telling a story through a picture. So this is about photography. Here are some photos which is talk by Matthew Pridey, the photographies. So here telephones and railroads. Telephones and the spirit of railroad across the country allowed news to travel faster than even before. So that's mean they developed the road and the way of traveling. They trying to let the travel from one place to other more easier than before. Anyway, two, because people had knowledge of events sooner, they began to take more of an interest in the events and issues that were impacting the country. Railroads also made it easier for people to travel I said before, the country and witness events for themselves as well as experience the country's diversity of culture and beliefs. Change in science and education, in new advancements in psychology, biology, and geology contradicted long-held belief about the nature of human, the world, and the universe. People no longer accepted most things without scientific proof. Sigmund Freud, for example, created the concept of psychological analysis. He was seeking a way to explain why people do what they do. And his ideas influenced realist writers as they try to explain character actions. Change in education. Education and access to school were more readily available. More and more women, minorities, and the poor were learning to read. The government passed acts that provided for taxpayer-funded schools, so the number of the school increased. Change in education. Textbooks began to be written and published for use in schools, and news curriculums were developed. McGuffey's Reader were one of the most popular textbooks at the time and used to teach most beginning readers. Also, magazines and newspapers become more popular and less expensive, which encourage more to attend school and learn to read. The Third Amendment. The ratification of the 13th Amendment forced many Americans to rethink their way of life. Slavery was outlawed, and many had to decide how they would provide for or interact with the newly freed slaves. Many former slaves moved to the northern states since their law and expectation were more welcoming than those in the south. Realistic literature will continue themes that center on contemporary society and on the lives of the middle and lower classes, describing the details of everyday life, even if they are unpleasant or difficult to think about. Feature characters that are based on the poor or outcast of society. Avoid extravagance language in favor of simpler everyday deductive or deduction or deduction here, and will often imitate regional dialect that help reveal their speech pattern, behavior, and attitudes. Also, here emphasize irony. So, how are some of the realist writers will study? Wharton, Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, Abrams. Here, some writers. So, here we have branches of realism, regionalism. Regionalism is a literature that emphasizes a specific geographic setting and reproduce the speech, behavior, and attitudes of the people who live in that region. So, in other words, the writer wrote like people spoke. This is like, for example, how would regionalism writing portray like these things. Anyway, regionalism writers differ from abstract realistic by portraying the character in somewhat sentimental fashion. Mark Twain is the most well-known regionalist writer. And here we have a branch of realism, also naturalism. Naturalism is 19th century literature movement that portrayed life exactly as it was. It was inspired by new science of psychology and sociobiology, and the argument that behavior was determined by heredity and the environment and was beyond human control. Stephen Grant and Ambrose Bierce were two of the naturalist writers. Key skills for this unit: understanding the importance of setting and its influence on the text, understanding the structure of the text, dialects, the role of narrator, irony. So this is all of things that I have about the rise of realism. Thanks a lot for watching. So I really appreciate it.